This is Danielle, the executive producer of Debate the News podcast, and today's episode is part two of Trump and Zelensky. It was fire, so we wanted to do a part two, so enjoy.
All right, guys, welcome to the Debate the News. Man, oh man, this is part two of the Zelensky Trump fight in the White House. So, man, we got a lot to talk about, Jerry. So, definitely looking forward to it. There's a lot of opinion out there. I know how I feel. I know how you feel. Let's find out how everyone else feels, man. So let's get ready to debate the news, Jerry.
Hey, I am ready. I am locked and loaded, and I am still just literally amazed at how that guy just basically handled Donald Trump, in my opinion. However, we're going to open this up to all you incredible people that's part of Debate the News. So, Jonathan, I'm ready, bro.
Yeah,
Let's get this,
absolutely.
my brother.
Is Skald in the house, man? I want to see Skald in the house, man. Skald, are you in the house? Skald
I
going.
am. I
Skald,
am.
you want to come up here and talk to us about what happened today, sir?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, are we talking still about that?
Zelensky, Trump, dust
Yeah.
up.
I mean, we can just keep going on about it, but ultimately, this is just a disgraceful act of American diplomacy. The worst I've seen in my life. I mean, Trump just gave away the freaking farm, people. It's insane. And people are saying, oh, well, the war kept going on, kept going on, kept going on. And now it's going to keep going on. It really will, right? I mean, we just sent a signal to all the dictators, all the Putins and wannabe Putins of the world that America's not going to stand up for democracy. Where do you think we land on this, guys? I mean, I'm being serious. This is not a good message to send out here in the world. And I don't know if it's going to be today or tomorrow or next week or 5 years from now, but we will pay for this. And it won't be in dollars. You will be wishing that we paid for this in dollars when that day comes. I land.
I'm going to have to agree with him, Jonathan, and I'm surprised other people do not agree because I don't think, regardless of where you at, where you stand, that was not very presidential the way he conducted himself. So I agree with my man. Back
We're gonna pay for it in blood. We're gonna pay for it in blood, are we?
Yeah, let me add to that a little
We're gonna
bit.
pay
On a
for
I mean,
serious note,
one
what do you
second,
think?
though. 1 second, because I'm not sure, Jonathan, do you want another drop or we just jump into it?
Nah, man, we can jump right into it, man, because we
Okay.
have these skins up and we have Sir Jude. So let's go with Sir
yeah,
Jude since his mic is working right now. You
Go ahead,
never know
Sir.
when it's strike. And
Sir
then we go to these
Juice.
yeah.
skins.
Sir
Sir
On,
Jew.
on,
Jude.
His name is Sir Jews.
on a serious note, though, let's be serious about this. America is the one that lost tonight. Okay.
Elaborate.
Yeah, give it to Trump. I disagree with the proposition that there is no diplomacy. There is a diplomacy here, but it's coercive diplomacy, and we see it at play. America have used it in so many other occasions, but the problem here is that they gambled and they failed and it blew up on their faces. Okay, and the consequences of this is that it had further polarized the country, which makes it very difficult for America to form a very grand strategy when it comes to this issue. You need the cohesiveness of a country in order to do that. But because this failed, if it had worked, yes, okay, give it to Trump. But the coercive diplomacy failed here because Trump and his crew violated all the tenets that you need to employ when you are using a coercive diplomacy. I don't want to go into it, but we could go into it later on. It's academic. And that's why they failed. And because they failed, the consequences of this is you have polarization, and that polarization is going to make it very difficult for you to have a grand strategy because you need accumulation of the national resources, everything, economic, social, political, in order to come together and get a concisive grand strategy. And Trump lost that, and America lost tonight. I rest.
I'm gonna chime in a minute.
How about you chime in a second?
So I'm I'm thinking this right. So quickly, and Jonathan, I'll be quick as I can.
My name is Jerry, brother.
No, I know, Jerry. This is LS. I'm talking to Jonathan because he knows me.
Jonathan left the room, though.
Oh no. Okay, Jerry. Thank you.
Jonathan
But
ain't
this,
running shit.
okay. So Zelensky came out after and apologized to the American people and everything. And I'm not right or left, so let's be clear. I say watch the weekend because he hasn't left the country yet. And I think he always wanted guarantees on security. This deal was about mineral rights. I think he just moved the goalposts. And I think it will end up being a middle ground, which is interesting to me. Because I think just watch the weekend. We'll see on Monday. I don't think it's done. And that's my word. Just watch the weekend. Because I think he's going to get some kind of guarantee on mineral rights. On security, not just a mineral rights deal. That's why he came to Washington, for mineral rights. So this might have been a blow up. It might have got out. JD Vance shouldn't have spoke. That's true. None of those people shouldn't have spoke. Only Trump, because you're talking to presidents here. So people speaking whatever. That's some bullshit. But just watch the dove. I'm done.
I think he's right. Deal's getting done. Trump, he ain't leaving. This dude ain't leaving without a deal.
Okay,
Because if he does, he's going back there throwing stones and rocks and all kinds of pebbles and shit.
but Jeremy, let me just this right here. The deal he wants it was never it was always about guarantees. It was always about guarantees. So
He guaranteed he got $360 million. I think he got like
no, no,
170 million after that though.
security guarantees because it doesn't make sense. The United States should support him 100%. Should support
I
him.
actually agree with you, Jonathan.
Okay,
I think that
so
was I was terrible. I think that was handled terrible today. It was like terrible. Like it was terrible.
yeah, that's. I mean, look, guys, look. If Trump gets something out of this for us, fine. But what I don't want right now is the rest of the world is looking at us, and the rest of the world is saying we're unreliable. Okay, don't trust us, and they can't count on us to defend democracy, guys. I'm gonna tell you something. What we just did was we advocated the throne. We gave the throne up, and we said we're no longer the leader of the free world today. That's what happened. We're no longer the leader of the free world. So we got to find others.
Come
Whether it's
on, bro.
Germany, I'm just talking about Germany, really. Whether it's Germany or someone else, we gotta, England, Poland.
Let the Germans protect you.
No, I get that. But what I'm trying to tell you is, no one's as powerful as us. So what you don't get is there's the United States, we're the only superpower, and then there's everyone else. I mean, you got China and Russia, but they're not superpowers. But it's everyone else. They're all bunched up. Guess what? They would want to merge as a leader of the free world. That kudos to them. Okay. Once again, we're by ourselves as the only superpower. If we can't be relied upon, Canada, Mexico, UK, the EU, they're all going to have to make new alliances. They're going to have to make new friends, and they're going to have to, and they may have to befriend some of the people that we're not friendly with. Okay, and in order
Dude,
to survive.
dude,
Go ahead. What's up, GC?
bro, that was beautiful today. God damn, that was beautiful. That was beautiful. And by the way, I'm at Mar-a-Lago. Trump's over here right now, and I just went and shook his hand and said, "You showed the whole world how to negotiate. Like this is amazing what you did tonight. Transparent, real, authentic. Let the American people know what it takes to put somebody in their place. Fucking fantastic, Mr. President."
So, Grant, you weren't embarrassed at all.
Dude, it was brilliant. Utilizing the opportunity of transparency, social media,
What's that?
and
What'd you say?
TV, not backing down one bit, even
Fuck
saying
yeah,
at
we
the end,
did it though, right? What the fuck?
One mic.
hey,
Jeremy,
Jeremy,
Jeremy, you got to
Jeremy,
mute your mic.
Jeremy,
Jeremy, you got to
get
mute
your
your
shit
mic.
together, Jeremy.
Yeah, you got to mute your mic, Jeremy.
Jeremy, do your drug deals in private. And the fact that he could do that transparently and then at the end of it say, this is going to make some good TV right here. Brilliant. Sent that punk packing. He'll probably be at Mar-a-Lago tomorrow morning on a knee. I think it was brilliant. And unfortunately, you guys that are shaking your heads right now and saying, no, that's not the way it should be done. That's exactly the way it should be done. Because if you're negotiating from a place of power and truth, and I just want to emphasize that second word, truth, then you should be able to do it for the whole world to see. And not be embarrassed, not back off from it, be completely transparent and authentic, and just let the fucking let it lie where it lies. I think the world saw, hey, look, this guy came, he couldn't even wear a suit to a meeting where he knows everybody's going to be wearing suits. Come on, man. It was disrespectful. He tried to make a move, and like Trump said, bro, you don't have any cards to play here. You're going to lose. In any negotiation, you have to have strength. You have to have some leverage. If you don't have leverage, you lose. And Zelensky loses. And he looked like a fool tonight or today. Thank you, Jonathan.
Grant, I got a question for you.
What is it, Ellis?
Yeah, Grant, do you think, because given the UK Prime Minister came in a few days ago, right, and Trump said he was a hard negotiator, do you think that somehow Ukraine, let's say there's a deal for the mineral rights specifically, right? But do you think somehow Europe will be tied to security guarantees out of this? And I'm being real, like fuck the duh, like no bullshit. By Monday.
Grant, what's up? All right. So anyway, Grant, are you there, Grant? All right. So Grant, my thing is this right here, and I keep it. I'll be honest with you, Grant. I think Zelensky won that exchange. Zelensky won that exchange. 100%. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about it.
I'm back, bro.
Okay, yeah. Zelensky won that exchange. I'm sorry. Okay. He walked out. He didn't sign. He didn't sign. Okay. And the rest of the world is
So
applauding him.
what? So what does that? What does that mean? He didn't sign. He still loses, bro.
Okay. Okay.
He didn't come to America because he doesn't need it.
Of course he needs it. Of course he needs it.
Okay, like for those of you in the room that maybe have never been in a negotiation, or you like, there is a science to negotiating. And when you walk into the room, you have to have something. Like if you're going through a divorce or a partnership breakup, or you're trying to put a deal together, you have to bring some value to the table. Otherwise, you lose. There's no, you can't win without bringing value. And when he said, "Oh my God, you guys are going to fill the problem over here," and Trump said, "No, no, 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 we're not going to fill anything." So he forced Trump to put the American people first and say, "No, no, the American people are going to be fine. We're not going to fill anything over here in America, and don't tell my people that." So that was just a miscommunication right there. Two, it's not real. We're just not going to fill anything. It doesn't matter what happens in Ukraine to America today. It does not matter.
Well, Greene, it looked bad. It did look bad, and the optics didn't
It
look
looked
good.
it, it
But
looked
the
bad
truth,
to who? It looked
but
bad to who though?
hold on, Greene, I'll throw you a bone. But the truth is that it's okay for the rest of the world to be applauding Zelensky, but they're applauding with nothing to offer. At the end of the day, Zelensky is going to have to deal with the U.S. president. So he can throw the temper tantrum, walk out, do all these other things, but he's still got to come crawling now, and the penance will go up. What he had to deal with
Yes,
today, he's going to
I
have to
agree.
pay for now. Now they're going to ask for more.
I
He's
agree.
dealing with a man that's not right in his mind. He's dealing with Donald Trump. Europe can have all the meetings they want, but they're not. If they have a choice to back Ukraine or the U.S., well, who do you think Europe's going to choose? Europe is not going to side with Ukraine against Russia, not without the U.S. being there. So all these meetings, all these people applauding and all that, they can applaud you, but they got nothing to offer.
Carlos,
Grant,
I disagree with you, bro, because, I mean, here's the thing. The European leaders have been pretty clear about their perspective in this.
Well,
They view
perspective is not offering you.
Ukraine
What
and
are they offering? What
they view
are they going to
Ukraine.
give weapons? Are they going to give money? Are they going to put troops on the ground to support Ukraine?
Yeah, they've had an emergency summit before the end of the day. I mean, literally hours after that event at the White House. I mean, they are trying to figure this out.
So they have no game plan.
And it might be a good negotiation tactic. It might be, right? But I don't see downside protection here, Grant. And I mean, that is a phrase that
Downside for who?
I don't see the downside protection for us because it's like, okay, we've walked away from the mineral deal, and now what? Unless we withdraw from NATO, if there is an attack against one of these countries, they're going to trigger Article 5. I mean, and then it's going to be a train wreck. So I don't understand this strategy. Now, maybe you're privy to information we don't have, and there's some sort of master strategy here. But to me, it seemed like Trump was off his game. And I'll admit, Trump usually is pretty successful in negotiations, but it seems like he's off his game. He seemed emotional. And honestly, Vance's, unless that was all scripted, his little outburst there, it just not seemed to go well.
I thought what JD Vance did was brilliant. It was a perfect pivot and setup. It was literally like alley oop, baby. Here it is. I'm gonna set this shot up. You dunk it, Mr. President. And I don't know what the downside is. I don't see why you guys think there's any downside to America and what happened tonight. This Zelensky guy came in here disrespectful to America.
How so disrespectful? How was he disrespectful?
Oh man, bro, when he got out of the car, I'm like, really, bro? That's how you're dressing? You're
Okay,
wearing cargo?
Elon wears t-shirts and jeans into the Oval Office and to the meeting.
Elon doesn't want anything.
Okay, doesn't
But
matter.
but
Government contracts.
why you got to
Yeah,
why you got to
contracts.
bring?
He wants contracts. Exactly, he wants contracts.
Okay, well, whatever. Elon's not negotiating with Donald Trump. Elon's already in the circle.
Okay, that's the way
Zelensky
that man. That's the
Zelensky
way
got
that
on a
man is
plane.
intended. He's at war. His country's at war. Grant. He's not going to be dressed up wearing a suit.
Bro, when you go into negotiations and you want something, do you agree, Jonathan, that Zelensky came here because he wanted something?
Yes, I do.
Good.
100%.
Put your best fucking suit on.
So when
Yeah,
George
but
Bush was at
but
war,
Number
but
one. Number
Trump
one. Yes.
said
Number two. You walk into the room and you're respectful. 3, TV cameras are on. You're even more respectful.
But Vance asked the question. Vance was disrespectful to begin with. Okay, that's a meeting between presidents. All right, Vance, stay there, put an ointment on, and smile. Okay, but don't get in and try to chastise him and say. I mean, I'm gonna tell you something. If Zelensky hadn't responded the way he responded, I would have been disappointed. Okay, if he hadn't responded the way he responded, I would have been disappointed because Vance
Yeah.
had no right intervening and two presidents speaking.
so if Donald Trump dies tomorrow, who is he going to be dealing with?
Vance,
Thank you.
But
Thank you.
Donald Trump is here right now.
No, no.
Just
That's
in
a
He's
that.
not
silly
going to be
question.
dealing
But
with.
Donald
He's not
Trump is
going to
not
be.
dead.
And he's not going to be dealing with Vance, guys. If Donald Trump dies tomorrow, Vance becomes president, and then he appoints Elon Musk as the vice president. That's what happened. And then Musk is going to be
Oh
killing
man, stop
people.
it, man, stop it.
That's
Dude,
what's
are
going to
you
happen.
serious? Are you really serious?
No, that was a joke, Grant. I was actually
Okay,
playing on
okay,
it.
yeah, because
I
Elon
was,
Musk is not
I
going
was
to be the
actually
vice.
playing on it. Anyway.
Grant, you mentioned his dressing. I want to also remind you. I don't know if you noticed that when he got out of the car, Trump acknowledged that he dressed at least better and that he dressed very well today, right?
No, no,
Yeah.
you don't understand American, and
Yeah. But
you don't
listen to this
understand
though. On a more serious note, on something that you said,
you
right?
you don't understand American communication. Then sorry,
That's fine.
Trump was saying he was offended by his dress when he got out of the car.
No, that's not.
Did you drop those people
Rewatch it
down?
again. Rewatch it again. First of all, this man
Yeah,
is at
because
war.
I don't need
I
to
work
watch
Let,
it
too hard
let
to
me
again.
be plugging
finish.
people
Let
up
me
this note.
finish, please. Let me finish. This man is at war, and he has
No,
addressed
you
the
drop them
U.S.
right. All right,
Congress.
drop them by. Bye.
Can't hear you, Jonathan.
He has addressed the U.S. Congress in T-shirt, and everybody understands
I
his
don't
position.
care. That was inappropriate
But
and unprofessional too.
that's fine. We can't tell. It's not every president that has come to America that wore suit. People have come to the United States wearing their traditional garbs and whatever. So that's a non-issue. But look at what I wanted you to address. You said that we are not going to be affected by this, right? There's no way that America is going to be affected by this. Donald Trump made mention about Third World War, possibly, right? And this is presumably what he's trying to prevent, and this is what the issue is according to his line. So if that is a threat, if that threat is alive in this whole game thing, why would you say that America is not going to be affected in any way?
Jonathan.
Hey, what's up? We got somebody got an echo, but go ahead.
Grant,
Oh
did you
my.
hear what I asked you?
Hey, bro. Wait a second. Wait a second. It's interesting that you know, people feel that because the way he was dressed, like that was a big deal. I get what you're saying about the respect thing, but and I, I think he looks at Donald Trump a certain way, and I think Donald Trump wants everybody to kiss his ass, and he's just making a statement like I don't have to be like that. So obviously he's just not tripping. Just Jonathan, just like they thought he was gonna get his ass whooped, and look how he's doing so far.
Three
And then
years,
guess
three years, 3 years.
Jonathan, everything ain't just about the U.S. because there's other people who supports what he's doing. So I don't get it the way people everybody wants everybody like hail to the king, hail to the king. So I actually respect the way he pulled up. He pulled up like a boss in my mind.
Absolutely. Hey, Jerry, real quick,
He
guys.
pulled up like a boss. He left like a bitch.
Well, Jonathan,
He
I mean,
left. Hey, by the
Nah, he
way,
got kicked out.
He left empty-handed.
well,
He
how,
left
And
with no
Jonathan,
but
there's no
bag.
proof
but
that he
guess
He
was
left
what?
kicked
with
Guess
no
what?
out.
Though,
commitment.
Grant, but
He left.
we have no.
He left. He left like he'd be Rachelle's boyfriend or something.
But how do we know what he wanted
With
though?
nothing.
We don't know. Well, you know what?
With
A lot.
nothing.
Okay, but how do we know what he wanted though? How we know he don't feel he? We don't know what he wanted. We don't know what his
Sure he
angle
does,
was.
bro. He went there. He wants peace for his country.
Yeah, but what I'm
He
saying
wants
is,
America to bail his ass out right now.
okay. Well,
What are you talking about, Jerry?
Grant,
And by the way, Jerry, you would not show up to the White House. If I called you up and said, we're going to go meet the president of the United States, you'd put a suit and tie on.
if I was in a war, if I was in a war, and the person I'm in a war against, the person I'm going to go visit is saying stuff that's like almost praising him, I damn sure will pull up. I would have pulled up in my army gear. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be on Grant. The
Jerry,
reality.
Jerry, you'd show up in the most professional manner possible,
Okay.
Well,
trying
we
to
can't
get the
act like
most
he
you
did.
can from the situation.
Well, he's never really worn a suit in the White House. He wore fatigues when he met with Joe Biden.
Grant, I would
Did
like
he?
for you guys
Did
to
he,
make
bro?
up your minds
Yep. Oh, he
Oh,
because
wore fatigues.
well,
Yeah.
that changes everything though. If that's just the way he normally gets down.
that's how he gets down. And Grant, you guys got to make up your minds. You're saying here that he came looking for peace. Donald Trump was here telling everybody that the man doesn't want peace. I mean, which one is it?
And didn't
Well, we
Donald?
know that he didn't want to be in front of everyone with the cameras because he didn't like the fact that the media was there.
Who didn't like the fact? Trump or the other guy? Or Zelensky? Which one?
Zelensky, he said it when he was
Z-
on Fox News.
You know.
Zelensky,
You know.
that's
You
ridiculous. Zelensky's a fucking, he's an actor, dude. What are you talking about?
Grant. I
No,
know.
because they let the Russian media in there, and they said, "Oh, it was a mistake that they got in and asked them to leave after they had already been there recording." Like, just get out of here, Grant. Zelensky stood his ground, handed Trump and Vance their asses. They acted emotional like some girls and what have you. And there's no proof that Zelensky got kicked out or that he left on his own accord and gave them a middle finger. And what Trump said afterwards in his tweet, the very first line, is really all that matter. We had a very productive meeting. That's what Trump said. So guess what? He wants those minerals. So he's gonna make a deal with Zelensky. That's the bottom line.
Rachelle, didn't Trump also say that Ukraine started the war? Didn't he say that?
That's absolutely what he said, Diana.
My name is Jerry.
I know, Jerry. I'm just making a point, Diana,
I don't get it. Why you?
Well, I was saying something to Grant earlier, Grant,
because
but
she swore that he didn't say that.
Go ahead, bro. The guy that was speaking to
I was saying
Grant.
something earlier to Grant. Grant, because you left the room or you got a call or something. I was saying by the
Okay.
weekend, what might happen if Zelensky, right, because he was on Fox and said something later and apologized and all of that, but he's always wanted to tie this to security rights for Ukraine on the mineral deals. But if a deal actually breaks on that, maybe not the US is guaranteeing it, but the UK and other European countries by Monday, because he hasn't left the country yet. That's what I was asking.
And
Who?
that's the biggest.
Who are you talking to?
Grant,
Did Grant dip out? I think he tapped out, bro. I think I scared him away. Oh snap!
What would you guys expect from Grant if not to, to support Trump? There's nothing that Grant has never said anything against Trump ever. It doesn't matter what you guys say. He's gonna
I
come in here and just keep kissing butt of Trump butt.
really okay. Did he leave? Well, when Grant comes back, you can have that conversation with him. But anybody else want to?
Sure.
Go ahead, bro. Mike is yours.
No, I mean definitely if he's here, I think it's here. That's why I'm saying that. Definitely I would say that.
Well, he's not here.
Grant is a businessman, bro. So you got to see it from those lights.
Well,
Uh,
it doesn't matter if Grant is a businessman. We can actually look at what we actually saw. And to me, it seems like that guy Zelensky has pride, and I get it. They're negotiating. We don't even know what the negotiations is. How do we know? How do we know what Zelensky got going on with somebody? We don't know. We're just speculating. Grant may know though. Grant may actually know Trump, so he may know something we don't know. Chat, did you want to jump in, chat? Okay,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Well, cause I'm just I don't understand. Like it's almost like they get the same like five talking points, and they email it out after Trump does something, and then the Trump interpreters have to go out and say the same things. Cause how many times have we heard about what Zelensky had on? How many times? And my thing is, if that is considered quote unquote disrespectful, then what about how Zelensky was treated, right? I don't bring guests in my home to wag my fingers at them and to chastise them. Like that's rude behavior. I don't know. Like I don't think that to me as an American that was very un-American. I don't like, and plus this is again years of allyship that we've built, right? And correct me if
Could,
I'm
could, could,
wrong.
could you elaborate on that though? Could you elaborate, like, what's going on with those allies? Like, elaborate on that. Like, is something at risk when you say stuff like that, chat? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, we're on the total opposite end of we are now our allies' opponent, right? Like we were opposite Russia and China and North Korea.
Okay.
Now we are in alignment with them. You heard Ben Stock say that earlier, like it's time for a change. But they didn't care about Russia. Russia was an enemy before Trump.
So why do you
But
think we?
because Trump says
Why do
he's an enemy, now he's an enemy. It's
why
crazy.
do why do you think we're aligned with Russia? What do you think the reason is?
Trump. For
It,
whatever it's worth, I don't know. Like Trump has had a relationship with Russia for years. Maybe Skald knows a little bit more about that than I do. But he like it's because of his relationship with Russia. And to be clear, a lot of diplomats and politicians come into office with prior relationships. So I understand that. But we don't throw away diplomacy with other countries around, with the UN. My goodness, with Europe, we don't throw away that for the likes of a Putin and a Kim Jong Un.
you know what? You know what the argument? Let me see something. The argument. Hold on. This is so. I'm just looking at it. I just want to look at it one more time. It's just so. It's just so emotional looking. The way they was talking. It's just. I don't know. I don't know. But
Yeah,
Grant seemed.
Jerry,
It was
Jerry,
completely emotional, Jerry.
Go ahead,
what
bro.
yeah, what I think is underlying this is the fact that he's irritated with NATO because remember the first term he was attacking the NATO countries for not paying their fair share, and I do believe that he's looking at this Ukraine situation, and in his mind, the European countries should actually pull a bigger weight in this conflict than what America's pulling, and so he's lashing out and he's attacking these particular entities. So this is what I think it's really about, just the underlying issues with NATO and Zelensky. To be honest with you, he does not hold all the cards in this situation. He is a kid in the candy store begging, and he will end up making an agreement with the U.S. president, and it will not be in his favor.
But Carlos, I'm gonna say this. I don't know what's going on because I think it's always more behind the scenes. But I think it's definitely a lot more than him being concerned just about the U.S. I think there's a lot more than what we know about, involving other countries. So he may have a little bit more leverage than we think he have. I don't know though. I know you guys.
But
You guys,
Carlos, can I ask you this,
you
Carlos?
guys look at Twitter, so I know y'all know more than me.
well,
Carlos.
heck no, I stay away from Crazy Town. But why wasn't the initial? Didn't Biden? What did Biden negotiate?
I don't know. Do you know?
That's what I'm asking.
Who you asking?
I think you provided more funds, right?
The money.
It was
I
more money. But in terms of a peace deal,
the peace
that's
deal.
Trump.
That's what I'm asking.
That's more Trump, right, than it is Biden, in my opinion. But the question I have for people that think that today went in the US's favor, if Zelensky goes to the White House on Monday and Trump agrees to the guaranteed security, do you think Trump still won today? Like if a deal is made and it's not on the clear terms that Trump set out today, and it shifts even an inch from those terms, do you still think Trump won today?
Honestly, I mean, what agreement do we enter into where we really uphold our word? The U.S. really doesn't have a word around the world that it is that you can count on it to keep. The
Uh
Donald
oh.
It
Trump.
Uh
doesn't
oh.
matter though. But so I'm not talking about if it keeps the word, but if he enters the deal to say he will provide those guaranteed securities if Russia invades, at that point, would you count Trump as the winner of today?
Depends because I mean you're talking about Ukraine going to enter into a deal with basically a dishonest broker who has not kept his word around the world. So I don't understand even why Zelensky is still in the U.S. trying to broker a deal. He should be in Europe trying to make a deal with them for security.
I'm I'm confused. I thought we've been paying them. Doesn't that mean we've kept up some of our word? I mean,
Yeah, and I'm kind of confused, Carlos. Are you saying that
I'm just
America
one
is like
honestly
ain't worth shit?
asking.
Okay, so
Why are you scared?
hold on. Look at the agreements that America has made around the world. You can even take the Paris climate thing. Look at how Donald Trump just pulls us out of that. So the American presidents can make a deal. But guess what? What Donald Trump has exposed is even though we make a deal and we put our stamp and our word on it and it can be signed by our president and handshook, the next president come in and just tear that deal up. So we have a word that we can't keep around the world. We can't be trusted to honor our commitment. And you guys can't be so caught up in Republican, Democrat. I love Trump. I hate Trump. I like Biden. I don't like Biden. And don't see that we don't have a word that we keep around this
But
world.
Zelensky can't
Let
exactly
that
say that
breathe. Let
because
that breathe. What he just said. Why Zelensky can't say that? Tell us why.
everybody keeps saying, why are we sending so much money to Ukraine? They can't exactly say that the US hasn't upheld their word. There's an agreement that we would be, you know, taking care of certain things for them. The finance is a part of that agreement.
Who was that speaking?
Makita.
Hi, Makita. Thank you.
And I just I know we're talking about a lot of things. I just wanted clarity on how Zelensky could say that. I do understand the protections part, but part of
If
it,
you was Zelensky, would you trust Trump? If you was Zelensky,
I'm not Zelensky, so I don't think I should answer that question.
let's
Hell
imagine if you.
no. Did you see how
Thank you,
Netanyahu
chat.
was booty clapping? I'll answer it. Shoot. I mean, I'm a black woman. I will never be confused with Zelensky. But did you see how Netanyahu was just a smiling and a kicking and Trump is the best thing since, sliced bread? And Zelensky was like, I'm not doing that. I'm not selling my soul just to appease. But I'll be back.
What? What did she just say? She'll be back. Okay. So did you want to land, Mickey? Mika, did you want to land?
Makita.
I'm sorry.
Thank you, Rachelle.
I'm sorry. No, you know what? It's this. No, no. Listen, it's this. Don't blame me. Blame this. I'm sorry. So, Makita, go ahead. You want to land?
No, my only concern here as I'm listening, because I think we are all entitled to our opinions, is just we still have to remember that we are Americans. And while we can have clear perspective, we do need to make sure that we're seeing the actions of our country through a clear lens. If we've done something wrong, that's fine. But I just want to make sure that if we're upholding our part or doing what's right, we also get the accolades for that as well. So that's why I was asking. I was just a little confused.
Okay. Well, thanks for your perspective. Anybody else want to jump in? Chat. Did you land too?
Yeah, I just wanted to finish. Yeah, sorry about getting off abruptly. No, my thing is this, right? Like what Zelensky did today, I was very impressed by it.
Why were you impressed?
I mean, he took up for his country, and it wasn't just about him. That man was proud of the country that he represented, and you could tell. What we got was from Trump was I got attacked, Russia, collusion, the laptop, all the other things that happen on the other news stories or things that he's done, the collusion and Hillary Clinton's laptop. Why are you talking about that right now?
You know, it's interesting, chat. This man is the one whose country's at war. He's at war, so he got to get a little pass by the way he's conducting himself. You know what I mean? And as far as him showing up the way he was dressed, I still don't get it. Like, I don't get it. Like, you guys are paying attention to how he's dressed. Did Grant leave the room?
Bro,
Well, you
Grant,
that man has been around the world like that. He has seen every world leader like that. He has addressed the U.S. Congress, seen the Pope, seen every world leader, went into G7 dressed like that,
Did
dressed
Grant
even
did Grant
less
leave
than
though?
that.
I think Grant is mad at me. Did he leave? He just sent me a text.
He, he left.
Okay.
So making that an issue is a nothing bugger. I don't see any issue there, and I don't think the administration made an issue there. That just um, every other person trying to inject an issue. The man was respectful. The man stood his grounds, and hopefully they will come back together. But Trump administration lost tonight. They tried a coercive diplomacy, it did not work in their favor. Maybe they will come back again. Hopefully they left the door open. I'll
My
land.
biggest thing, like I said, I'm not a political guy. I don't watch. I don't. Well, you know what? Maybe I can study Twitter and I'll become a political guy like most people on social audio from Twitter. But I don't like the way Trump conducts himself with people. To me, he's a little bit like I got some power, so I'm gonna act like it. Just a little bit. Just add a little bit of humility to it. Just a little bit of humility. That's all I'm saying. That's just my opinion, though. So anybody else want to jump?
who should have humility, Jerry?
Trump?
Oh, you think that's possible?
No. You know, it's so crazy how the confirmation bias kicks in so tough. I mean, anybody likes Trump. If I say, can you pick one thing he did wrong? They'll probably say, well, I didn't like the color of his shoes or something. They can't pick one thing. It's like he's the most flawless human being on the planet Earth. Grant, hey, chat. Grant didn't think that was a. Grant didn't think this was a Hitler salute. If y'all think this was a Hitler salute, what Elon Musk did, put a one in the chat. I'm just curious what y'all think.
He did it like twice.
Hey, but Grant is Grant here. Grant said I was reaching. He said I was reaching. If y'all think it was a Hitler salute, put a one in the chat. Let's see. Somebody put a zero. Joseph, you must be a goddess. Okay, goddess Spark and Joseph. Are y'all on the stage? Goddess Spark and Joseph. If one of you are one of you on the stage, yes or no? Yes, you are. Are one of you bold enough just to say hello? Joseph or Goddess Spark? Can y'all just say something?
Hi, Jerry. I think it definitely looked like a Hitler salute. I don't believe that Elon Musk is stupid enough to actually give a full blown intentional Hitler salute on national television. I could be wrong, but that's my take.
Well, let me ask you a question. Don't take this wrong. This is just for the show. Can you see me on the camera? Can you see me? Can you see me in the camera? You can see me, right?
Yes, Jerry. I can
If
see
I
you.
did like this to you, if
Well,
I did
that's
like,
very specific.
okay, but look,
I'm dead.
wait a sec, wait. That's very specific. But watch this, guys. This is a lesson, guys. You guys gotta listen carefully. This is very specific. But if we put a video of Hitler doing this and biting his tongue, and you put one next to Elon Musk doing the same exact way, that's not as specific as this. Can you give me an answer, sir?
I don't think the Hitler salute is as specific as the middle finger. I think that's a very universal sign. To be fair, I'm not an expert on what a Hitler salute looks like, so I could be wrong. That's just my take.
Okay,
Jerry, does he think?
but
Does he
I gotta
think?
say this to Luis, to this guy. What the guy that just spoke. I appreciate you for jumping in, bro, because you know, we need more people like you jumping in. Go ahead, Mr. Estrella.
Yeah. While I can hear the plausible deniability in his statement, does he think that Hitler is an expert on the Nazi salute?
Louise, I think that Hitler probably is an expert on the Nazi salute.
Phenomenal. I'm happy that we agree there. So if he replicates move by move what Hitler did, that not make it the same as the fuck you symbol that's so unanimously and world renowned?
Louise, to be fair, I could probably take another look at that and look at it
Thank
more
you.
closely. I'm just being honest.
Let me see if I can
That
pull
was
it up.
my
Let me see if I can pull it up, guys. Let me see if I can pull that joint up.
To be quite honest with you, and I'm keeping it real. Number one, we know that that's a salute. Okay, whether it's a Hitler salute or not, you got to go back to Elon Musk's background. Him, Peter Thiel, and all the four guys that they open paper with all grew up in South Africa, and they belong to a set in South Africa called Afrikaners. There is a place that they have in South Africa where there is no, it's an African soil, but no black is allowed. They have their own community. And he's affiliated with those people, and those people are known to throw Hitler's salute. You can connect two and two together. And this is why you see Donald Trump meddling in South African affairs, talking about South African land and giving the South Africans, white South Africans, asylum to come to the United States. So when you put all those tools together, you can. There is no way you can, rule in the benefit of the doubt that that's not a salute that is provocative. And I leave it there.
It's interesting how I don't know Luis Estelia Luis.
What's good, King?
It's interesting how I don't know what hold or what skill set that Trump has put together, but it's interesting how we can see things with our own eyes, but the people that rock with him and his team, they are professional auto correctors and they're going to explain what it was. I mean, how could you? It's like the guy said this is obvious, but I don't have it set up right now. I wish I had it set up on my camera so I could put it up. It is literally identical. It's just crazy. It's just, and they don't understand. It's something ingrained in them from I don't know. But listen, Jonathan told me I got to be good. I'm trying to get a raise, Luis. So once again, everybody, shout out to everybody. Shout out to Credit Ninja in the building. Shout out to Rico the villain. Are you here, Rico the villain?
I'm here.
How you doing, brother? I
I'm
don't think
doing
we've had
great.
the pleasure of meeting.
No, we didn't have a chance to meet. What's going on?
I'm not as bad as what you heard about me, bro. I know I'm the boogeyman to debate the news,
Oh
but
man,
but Jonathan liked me.
that's what's up, man.
Exactly. So shout out to Rico the villain. Shout out and thank you, Makeda, for always jumping in. Shout out to everybody else that's in the room. But Credit Ninja, I'm
I
going
love
all
you, Jerry.
I'm
Love
going
you.
all in on you. I gotta
Yeah,
send
I'm
it.
all in on you, man. I'm glad you're back.
Hey, Credit. I had to stop playing poker because listen, I was losing. I'm
Oh
getting river.
no.
I'm getting river. We're gonna talk about that later. So
No
let's.
river ratting. No
Oh my
river
God.
ratting. Let's
I,
play.
I had to tap out. But yeah, Donna, are you there? Donna, Natasha, are you there?
Donna's here.
Donna, I just want to say hello to you. Natasha, are you there?
Hey, Jerry.
Natasha. Okay, I need to get more people involved. So Donna, did you see the Zelensky and Donald Trump thing on TV today? Did you see that?
Yes, I did.
So what is your opinion? What is your take on that? Did he look like a little wimp? Did Donald Trump just handle him like a boss? Or what was your take on it, Donna?
I'm gonna split the middle here. If you read Zelensky's body language, he said a lot. He may not have verbalized it, but he said a lot. He was not interested in doing a deal. Obviously, not because he left without signing. Um, I don't know. I think Trump is a very persuasive businessman. That was his tactic. I think having the news reported live was also part of his tactic. Um, I don't know. If I was an opposing country, I would have taken notes from both of these guys. I think a lot of war secrets were revealed. And I don't know. I don't know where this is, how this is going to turn out. I actually learned both countries' weaknesses just listening.
That's you know what? I could see what she's saying. That's a very good point what she just said. I could see that. But before I go further though, I gotta talk to the chat for a second. Just Mike, who called you a bitch, bro? Just Mike said, "Damn, why you y'all something else and debate the news?" Just Mike, are you on the stage? Just Mike. So Donna,
I did. I called him a bitch. Because I was speaking on you because I
used to be in Clubhouse. You know what I mean? I was like, damn, Jerry, the truth, because I like the way that you moderate. I like the way that you talk to people, and provide your provide your input, but give a little feedback. Let people go, speak how they want to, but. He like you glazing, so I was like, "Bro, you a bitch."
Oh, okay, I got
You
you.
know what I mean? So
Jonathan,
yeah,
hey, I got to keep it clean. Jonathan
my
gonna.
bad, my bad.
No. Yeah. But hey, either way, I appreciate you, bro. I just saw that and it just caught my eye. But appreciate you for the love, my brother. So Donna,
Sure.
that's an interesting take, and I agree with you. I don't get it. Like, is there anybody that can please help nudge me? What is it that y'all see in Donald Trump and his communication styles is so great? I just don't see it. Like, help me out.
Help me out. Can I speak on this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I personally feel because I just saw the Zelensky and Trump debate. I personally feel like Trump's bark is louder than his bite. Me personally, I'm not a fan of Donald Trump. I just think that whole meeting should not have been aired. It was an embarrassment to the country. I think Zelensky did play his part. His posture was the same. It was absolutely astounding to see. They honestly, U.S. could have took notes of Zelensky and how he played out. His posture was on point. He definitely defended his country. At the end of the day, I just from looking at how Trump was responding, he clearly lost the debate. He clearly lost the negotiation scheme of that, and definitely did not know how to overcome objections at all, or even to lead it to a point of trying to sign a negotiation at that time. And I yield on that.
What's your name?
My name is Brenton.
Brenton, do me a favor, okay?
Brent, do me a favor, okay?
You got to mute your mic because
You
it's
got to mute your
echoing.
mic because it's echoing.
Did you?
Okay.
Did you? Okay, Brenton, do me a favor. I appreciate your input, and please jump in and debate the news on a regular basis when you come in. Okay? Can you please do that? And
Will
and
do.
and
And
Donna,
and, and
Donna
Donna,
also.
Donna.
We need more of y'all to jump in these conversations. Is there anybody else that had a take on this? So appreciate you, Donna, Natasha, Alexandra. I see you, Louila,
Can I
Nurse
talk, Jerry?
Nurse Chair. Of course, Nurse Chair. Are you there? Of course you can talk, bro. Nurse Chair. Let me see if she's too scared. Go ahead, bro. Jump in. Oh
Hey,
wait,
Yeah,
wait. Nurse Chair, how you doing, Nurse Chair?
I'm doing good. How are you guys?
I'm doing great. Is this one of your first times speaking in debate the news stage?
No, I've spoken a couple times.
So I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Did you see the whatever you want to call that? Because it's Grant Cardone. Let me see. Grant Cardone act like it was an Emmy award winning performance. What was your take on it, Nurse?
On what specifically?
Like you hear what Grant said? The guy didn't pull up in his suit.
Oh
Trump
no.
basically Trump
I
basically handled him. Trump looked presidential. The guy looked weak. What was your
yeah.
take on it?
So several things. One, when you've reached a certain place in life, you don't have to get dressed up for stuff like that. The other thing, considering this is the same administration that served fucking McDonald's when they had star athletes there, I don't think they need to be complaining about what people are wearing when they come to the White House.
Oh, I wasn't expecting that. But hey, Nurse, I rock with you. Is there anything else you want to add?
Nope, I'll land it right there.
Damn, Nurse, do me a favor. When you come in, can you just start jumping in more, especially if you see me on the stage? You can cut me off and just jump in, okay?
Absolutely.
Okay, there was a guy that jumped that said he wants to say something. Go ahead, bro.
What's up, Jerry? How you doing tonight?
How you doing, sir?
Good.
What's your name, brother?
D Skims.
D Skim, jump in.
All right. I had a question to ask you. It's about this. So, like, cause I'm really not into politics like that.
Neither am I.
So, like, since Trump got in office and the show has become popular, I've been watching y'all for a long time. Can you compare this situation to any other president? Like, or is this like the most controversial president we ever had?
That's a great question, bro. That's a freaking. Let me tell you what Jonathan told me. He's not here, so I can say this. Jonathan told me. You got to mute your mic. Jonathan Bing told me that with Trump as president, it's going to be a lot of chaos and content with Trump being president. It's going to be a bunch of mess. So what he was basically saying is, as we do our show, so when Biden was president, right, there wasn't a bunch of stuff that we could really talk about except COVID. But with Donald Trump, he knew it was going to be a bunch of like this type of stuff. Every day is going to be something new that you can talk about. You will not run out of content with Donald Trump. Does that answer your question, bro?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah,
And
like let's say if it was Obama, like what are we going to talk about with Obama? What are we going to talk about with George Bush? The Iraq War? Like what? What's the guy? What's the guy's name that they hung? I was about to say Hussein Bolt. What's the guy's name that they hung? Help me out, guys.
Bin
The,
Laden.
yeah, Bin Laden.
Saddam.
You're talking
Yeah,
about
Saddam Hussein. Saddam Hussein. Yeah,
Saddam Hussein.
yeah. So what are we going to talk about? But Trump is always going to give us something. It's okay. If y'all think Trump's followers are a cult-like following, and I'm just being nice, I'm asking a question. I'm just a moderator. If y'all somebody put Hussein Bolt y'all are quick. If y'all think Trump's following is more like a cult-like following, can you put a one in the chat? Tay said Trump is definitely content. If y'all think it's justified, damn. If y'all think it's justified because he's just such a great, patriotic, just the most incredible human being. He loves America so much. He's just here to make America great. We gotta love Trump. We're gonna be in such a better spot with Trump. Eggs are gonna go down. Bread is gonna be 50 cents. Interest rates are gonna go down eventually. So let me see who else I can call on. Let
oh
me
yeah,
see.
real
Did you
quick,
call it a
Jerry.
cult, Jerry? Oh, I'm sorry, just a second. Did you call it a cult?
What's your name?
I don't know. Did you call it
Oh,
a cult?
I said, is Trump's following like a cult like
Yeah, yeah,
following?
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I just wanted. Okay, so I'm just saying, like, okay, is it a cult or is it a brand? Hmm?
If y'all think it's a
I
brand,
don't
if y'all
know.
think it's a
It's
brand,
more like Mike Jones in an occult.
Mike
What do you mean, Breton?
Jones. If y'all think it's more like a brand, put a three in the chat. Put a three in the chat if y'all think it's more like a brand. So let me see. I'm going to be calling some of y'all out, and I'm about to go
You
to.
know, while I think they should have balance, I do think some people are patriotic and want to support our country. I'm not saying that everything he does is right, but there are some people who feel like they want to support their country. It's kind of that idea of like we don't talk bad about daddy in front of everybody. I'm not calling him daddy. I'm just giving an example.
Makeda,
I'm just giving
Makeda.
an example of if you're in your
Sorry, girl.
household or like my husband, right? Am I gonna come on a platform and say a bunch of stuff that's negative about my husband? I'm not. But if we're having a conversation and my husband's taking part or he knows about what's happening, I may be more willing to say some things.
Okay, let me ask you a
I'm
question though.
not saying that he can't do anything wrong, but I'm not sure that the cult part is correct. You see
Well, let
what
me
I
ask you.
mean?
Let me ask you a question though, and I'm asking for a friend. I'm just imagining a friend is asking me this, so I'm gonna ask you. So let me ask you a question. You just mentioned your husband. Let's say if your husband was one of the police officers who worked at the Capitol when it was basically whatever you want to call it, a peace gathering. Okay? And let's just imagine your husband was one of the police officers that just accidentally got their ass beat. How would you have felt if President Trump pardoned the person that beat the shit out of a police officer? Was that bad, or was that these are just people supporting Trump and they just felt it was wrong that he got the election stolen from him? Like, what is your honest take on
What does
that
that
part?
have to do with what I said, Jerry? That doesn't have anything to do with what I said. You're asking me a question to try to get a certain answer out of me.
Well.
The only thing I'm addressing
Let
is
me tell you,
that you said about the
let me ask you.
cult.
No. You asked me a question, then you ended it with a statement, and I promise you, don't worry, I will never do what I just did with you again.
What was
I
the
was
question
trying.
I asked
No,
you?
no. Listen, I was trying to engage with a conversation with you, but I apologize. I won't do it again. But listen, everybody. So listen, what do y'all think about that, though? The people are. Is there any Trump supporters on the stage right now?
Wait,
Any
don't
Trump?
go to the lakes, Jerry.
What'd you say?
I'm not sure that was nice, Jerry.
That
Well,
wasn't nice, Jerry.
It
We can't
wasn't
do that,
nice
baby.
because I was trying to. You asked a question about the cult, and I don't necessarily have the same opinion that you have, but I don't agree with them either. I'm just giving my opinion, which is that I think some people are for our country and some people are patriotic. And so while I don't think they should okay everything that he does, I'm not sure that they are okay with talking bad about him all the time. And there can be a balance. Maybe they have to learn it, but we don't always have to be negative to disagree with someone. If I don't agree with you, I don't have to tell the world that I don't agree with you.
okay. I appreciate you.
Jerry,
So
this is Nurse Shea here again. I'm just chime in a little bit.
go ahead.
So in terms of it being cult like, I think the general connotation people think of is like, everyone drinking the Kool-Aid and dying and just following people to their doom. But there's other definitions for cult, a misplaced or excessive admiration for a particular person or thing. And yes, by that definition, I think so. I don't think it means people are going to like, take it to the extreme the way the average person would think of the word cult. But by definition, yes, you could easily say that that fits for a lot of his followers and people who live
Okay,
in
so
Florida.
let me ask you the same question. Well, and if you don't want to answer it, you can just say it. You don't have to answer it. But because I don't know if I'm saying
I'm
something
not
wrong.
funny. You're good.
I'm not saying I don't know if I'm saying something wrong. I'm just trying to build with you guys. What do you think about that situation? Because to me, well, no, I'm gonna see. Ask you, what do you think about it? What do you think about it that the police officers was beaten up and they got pardoned? What's your take on that?
So stuff like that, I don't think is excusable. Any public servants, whatever the rules are, whether it's an automatic felony or whatever, for nurses, police officers, anyone else, that shit's never excusable. We put ourselves in danger to do so much for the general population, patients, people, and not just when we're on the clock, when we're off the clock too. So I don't find
Did
that
you,
to be acceptable
did
ever.
did you see the police officer got beat up when he was in the elevator? I don't know if they was in court or whatever. And one of the guys he got pardoned. They was arguing in the hallway, and the guy was calling him a bitch. Did you see that?
No, that sounds horrible.
Yeah. So the guy that got beat up, the police officer, and the guy that was part of the insurrection or whatever,
Hmm.
he was talking mess to the police officer. I
Proud Boy leader. Proud Boy leader.
oh, did you see it, bro?
Yeah, Jerry. He was the Proud Boy. He was the head of the Proud Boys. That's the one that was calling that guy a bitch.
What was your take on that?
I wish the police officer would reach around and knock the fuck out of him, but
I don't know, guys. I could be crazy. Remember, I don't read Twitter, so I'm not as political as most people on social audio because I don't read the Twitter headlines. But I just think that was pretty messed up. And I think a person I don't think a person, even if a person do some good things, there's certain levels to certain bad things that they allow. And the police officers that got beat up, they were saying that Trump is sending a bad message. I don't see how you guys wouldn't be in just total upset over that. Like, it's just crazy.
hey, Jerry, he's going to try to run for office too.
Who?
He's looking at running for an office for either for a Senate seat or a House Representative seat.
Oh, he'll probably win. Trump will probably support him. He'll probably win. Anybody else want to hop in? The mic is yours. Anybody got an opinion? Comment?
Yeah, just that he probably will win because when you let people get off the hook for stuff like that, it emboldens others to behave like that and take it even a step further to see what they can get away with that's above and beyond.
So, nurse, no, I'm not going to ask you that question. You supposed to say what question?
Yeah, ask it, please.
What is it that you're aware of that Trump has did in his tenure or so far? What has he done that you think is pretty amazing? Because is Grant in here? According to Grant Cardone and that guy Ben Stock, he's done something so amazing. What is it? School us on it real quick.
I can't say that he's done anything that I think is amazing. What I will say is whether I agree with the behaviors or actions or not, I am amazed at the swift and aggressive actions that he has taken since coming into office. I don't necessarily agree with all of them, but even if the things that he set into motion aren't followed through with perfectly and like those things get rolled back, the message has absolutely been sent that he's not there to play. And that, if he's looking for things to get cleaned up, like a lot of people got fired, maybe the judges are going to change it and those people get their jobs back. But I'll bet you if they really give them things to work on and, cut the wasteful spending and stuff like that, they're probably going to get to the bottom of it because they don't really want to lose their jobs and they know that it can happen because he's come in and already kind of set that groundwork.
Yeah, yeah. If there's anybody who is in disagreement, jump on the mic.
Yeah, I think that's bullshit because if he was real serious about making changes, he wouldn't have fired the inspector generals the ones that oversee all those programs, and they can actually see where the waste is at. He would go through them first, and then make the decisions. Right now, this shit's fucking radical.
So you're not a Trump supporter, obviously, right?
Oh no, no, definitely not. No, no, the
I
guy
got a
doesn't.
I got a
He
question
doesn't
for
carry
you.
himself well.
Is it possible that you're wrong though? Is it possible that the man is as great as like the people who rock with him think he is?
No,
No, is it possible? Is it
yeah,
possible?
it's possible. It's possible, but I feel like the fact that their loyalty to Trump is it can't be wavered. They are gonna always support Trump in such a way that it feels cult like. They even have an identity of being a Trump supporter. Like if we support a president, if we support someone who was elected into office, it's just a matter of us liking their policies or possibly liking the person. You know what I mean? A lot of black people liked Obama just because he was black, and that's understandable, sort of, but at the same time, that's not what the case is with Trump. They support Trump on ways that is unimaginable. I mean, this guy literally said, I could shoot someone dead in the middle of Times Square and people would still vote me as president. And they agree. Like it's a cult like following because it's pitchforks and things like that come with it. So it's just,
I got
Hey, Jerry. Not only did they fired all the heads of the IGs of all the departments, they fired all of the top lawyers within the military so that they can't correct them on certain shit. See,
and you know what though, guys? We need a little balance. We need just a little balance. We need some people that disagree. We need. Is there anybody like I'm calling for you? It's your mic. I'm
just
gonna
Mike. Just
I'm
Mike. Speak up, bro. Just Mike.
I'm gonna hand you the microphone. It's your mic. Let me go through the chat. Let me go through the room and see who's in here. But I don't want y'all to think that I'm just listen. I'm just trying to get a raise.
well, Jerry, what I'm saying is not false. It's true. They fired all the damn lawyers that will tell him no. They fired
Carlos,
all of them.
what side you on, Carlos?
What
Dance
up?
hall. I already know dance hall what side she on, so she read talk. Let me see who else is in here. Natasha doesn't want to speak. Donna already spoke.
Hey, Jerry. One last thing.
Hmm.
What's going to wake everybody up is when they start fucking with that Medicare and that Medicaid. That's when you probably see people marching in the damn streets.
Oh, what's up, P man? I didn't even know that was you. What's up, my brother? Appreciate
What's
you.
up, brother?
P man has been he's one of the day oneers from the other platform. Janae R. You just popped up. Janae Miller. Janae. At least say yeah, Jerry. I won't.
Hey Jerry, I'm here. I'm sorry my app has been freezing just a little bit, so I'm here.
I got a question for you, Janae, and I have no idea what you about to say. But
Okay.
but did you see the situation? Well, no. What do you think about the whole thing that went on with Trump and Zelensky? Is it you heard what Grant say, right? You heard Grant's position. Is Trump just being wrongfully just kind of like by most of the people on the stage today, kind of like like he really loves America. He's really trying to help, but he's just kind of abstract about it. What's your thoughts on it?
Well, I will say this. I wish that we had more, at least I can speak for myself as far as what transpired prior. I mean, we all know that Trump, he talks the way he talks. He's not political when he speaks. He just says it how he feels it. I think when we look at the clip, it does come off aggressive, right? But this situation is very serious. People are dying. So I'm not sure as to what led to his response. Now, I do think some of the responses about what Zelensky wore from JD Vance was unnecessary. But as far as Trump, I'm like, there had to have been something that led up to that. And I would just like to know what that conversation was like, prior to get a full understanding as to why he was a little more disagreeable with Zelensky. So that's my point of view so far.
Easy. Zelensky can't
One
get him dirt
second,
on Biden.
one second, bro. Just can you mute your mic? Just let me. Somebody got to mute their mic. It's echoing. Please mute your mic. Janae, do me a favor. When you come and debate the news, because I haven't heard you speak yet, especially my mom. Can you just jump in more, please? Can you just jump in more? Because I like what you had to say. Can you jump in more?
Sure, absolutely. I'm sorry. I can definitely do that.
That.
Jerry, she jumps in. Trust me, the other night is on fire. So,
Thank
Oh,
you,
okay. I
sweetie.
see her. I know. Okay.
oh
I see.
no, man! The other night we had to tell her that yo, chill out, chill out.
I see. I see Billy. Yeah, yeah. Bring some heat. I see Billy. Billy, can you come to the mic? I don't know if you're at your mic, Miss Billy. I don't know if you're at your mic. Okay, Billy's like I ain't my mic. Sam. Sam, I am. I didn't mean to say it. Sam Lene. Okay. Jonathan, yeah, how's it? Sam Lene. Okay. Mr. Bing. Mr. Bing. Mr. Bing, how you doing, brother?
Yo, I'm on top of the world, man. I'm on top of the world.
Can you
Had a couple glasses of wine, had to recover. But go ahead.
can you give us an example why you said you're on top of the world, sir?
Oh man, life's great, man. I got great friends. Uh, I surround myself every day with a lot of wonderful, insightful people. I mean, in this room. So,
You know I
you
support you,
guys,
brother. You know I
no,
support you.
exactly, exactly. So, you guys, in this room, man, there's nothing but love in this room from a lot of people in this room. So, 100%. So, we're family in this room. So, the podcast is doing really well. 100%. So, yeah, on top of the world, man. But more importantly, everyone that was here yesterday was able to return again today. And that's through the grace of just the higher power. So I'm exact. So I'm on top of the world. I haven't lost any of my friends today. So yeah. So,
I
so
wasn't
you know what I'm
expecting
saying.
that one. But I agree. I agree with you, Jonathan. I think for the next few minutes, this got to be debate the news appreciation day, debate the news appreciation moment because you're right. The podcast is doing very well, and we have been blessed, Jonathan. Even if we go back to day one when we first started debate the news, Danielle, what is it? Oh, okay, Danielle. I thought you was like laughing at me. Danielle, I'm sorry.
No, it was celebrating. Jerry.
I'm sorry, Danielle. It's that damn John.
Danielle's day one. Danielle's day
I know.
one,
I
man.
pop, but Jonathan, I thought she gave me like that. It's that bottle I'm drinking, Danielle. That little cheap Trader Joe's wine. But Danielle,
Jerry, we like you. We like you. You gotta relax. Everybody loves you.
I am.
Yeah,
Danielle,
we love you,
she
Jerry. We
she
love
must not,
you.
Jonathan. She must not know me very well.
Pew, pew, pew.
I love the people who love me, and I love the people who don't. I love all y'all, seriously. Well, it's the exception of a couple of you. But check this out, Danielle. Danielle, watch this, Danielle. All these people have been coming here, seriously. That's why you guys are going to notice I try to go to the audience because it's cool, all the co-hosts, the moderators, that's great. But we would not have shows if it wasn't for the people that's in here to just come in and just sit and listen to us. So coming from Jerry Malcolm, from me personally, I'm going to say Jonathan Bean because that's appropriate also. We appreciate y'all more than y'all know. This Jonathan, it's really enjoyable when we have the opportunity to just mod y'all. It's actually fun to me. So thank everybody who comes and shows up. We appreciate y'all. So, damn, can I get let me give my own self a cheer because
No,
y'all,
100, 100, 100.
Jonathan, I'm
Yeah,
gonna give my own
we
self.
appreciate y'all.
Well, and Danielle
Appreciate
does so
everything.
much more than just show up. So, Danielle, shout out to you for everything. Actually, I was in the back chat and just saying that Danielle just dropped the latest episode, and she drops every episode of our podcast here at Debate the News. So, again, Danielle, Patsy, you do not get enough love. I just want to say again, thank you for all that you do for
Yeah.
the editing. God, you guys have no idea the hours, the sweat, the tears that she puts in after that. You guys have no idea about. So, again, I just want to shout you out loud. Love you so much.
Shout
Love you
out,
too, girl.
shout out to you, Danielle.
Yeah,
Can
Jerry,
y'all
Jerry.
cheer,
Yeah, you
Jonathan?
might
How's
not
it
know,
go?
but Danielle definitely behind the scenes is the whole engine to this thing behind the scenes.
I
So
was trying to give her some cheers.
go give us some cheers. Let's do it.
Watch this. Louder, Jonathan. You know I'll be like this. Louder, guys. Louder. Hey, y'all, I gotta
Yo,
apologize. I'm so dramatic. So just forgive me,
I
guys.
remember the first time you did the cheers, right? Daphne had just got finished doing her what you call it? What you call it, Jerry? Business dateline.
Uh
Remember?
huh. Uh
And you
huh.
were like, louder, louder. And Jerry is hearing the sounds, and none of us is hearing loud.
And
None-
shout out to Carlos, cause Carlos, are you there, Carlos? Carlos.
I'm here, right here.
Carlos told me at the end of the show, he said, Jerry, because guys, I got this box right here. Look, let me show y'all. Let me show you something. Watch this. Let me show you something. This little box right here. This thing has like 100 different sounds. I can press buttons and it will change my videos. It will change everything, right? And so I was like, louder, louder, hit my buttons. And Carlos was like, Jerry, we didn't hear nothing you said. So for whatever reason, this box doesn't work on Chatter. So whatever reason that is. So shout out to Carlos for helping me not look stupid.
Yeah, so Jerry was like louder, louder, louder. So when Daphne got finished, I'm like, what is he talking about? It's quiet, right? And so we're like, okay, should we clap?
I can imagine what y'all was thinking. I was just looking stupid. But yeah, so Jonathan, man, yeah, so for all the people that's listening to us, the tens and thousands and the hundreds of thousands who be catching on to the podcast, Jonathan, I think we on to something here, my brother. I think debate the
Definitely.
news is. Hey, Jonathan, when you was gone, they were asking me. Somebody asked me, "What was the difference between Trump and the other presidents?" And I told them what you told me when Trump got it. You said, "Jerry, if Trump gets elected, we have content every single day, every single day, because you knew he was gonna be on this bullshit every day."
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But he does, man. But today, guys, I can laugh. You know, I'm fortunate enough to be in a position where I can laugh a little easier than some of you because of the fact that it's I'll be okay. But there's some people that like my family members, and hey, there's some people that's gonna be really hurt, Jerry, by this. And there's a lot of women that's gonna be hurt by this, and they don't know it. They think that they're gonna be fine because and they laugh and they joke about everything that Trump's doing, and I'm sitting back, Jerry, and like I've been doing all like just watching everything. And I remember I used to go into the mortgage syndicate and like say, "Yo, this is what's gonna happen. This is gonna happen." And then everything I said was gonna happen. Okay, I'm looking at this and I know what's gonna happen with this. And I say by fall, I think probably 60 to 70%, 60% of Trump supporters, 60 to 70, 60 to 65%, maybe 70% of his supporters will have peeled off because right now they will see what's actually happening. Right now, if you talk to any federal employee, and I spoke to one today, and it would start off as supposed to be a 2-minute conversation, was like a long conversation, and what's happening. So like all of the federal employees that was Trump supporters and all this other stuff, they've all abandoned that right now because they can't believe what's happening and they see what's happening, and so they're out there trying to warn their family and others like what's happening because they're. I think people are going to realize it too late what's going on, but by the fall, I think he loses 65% of his support, and but what he's doing, a lot of things that he's doing is going to be irreparable, I think, in the short term. And so, I sit back and I'm going to be honest with you. I'm in a position where I'll be able to smile and laugh and like, you know, uh, because there's no way today, like when like Grant came in to cheering about what happened at the White House today, it's nothing to cheer for. It's nothing to cheer about that. We actually supported Russia against a country that was invaded. We were always the good guy. We always fought for the country. And Russia's our biggest enemy. If you go to Putin and say, hey, which country would you rather, if you were able to nuke one country and get rid of it without any repercussions, without a doubt, he would say the United States. Without a doubt, he would say the United States because that put them up higher up on the food chain. He's not going to say China. He's going to say the United States. And with us knowing this, we have a president that essentially he actually threatened Zelensky like with World War Three. You want World War Three? Essentially, if you don't do this, it's gonna be World War Three. And our soldiers are involved in World War Three. And if our soldiers are involved in World War Three and it's against Zelensky, then that means we're fighting alongside Russia. Think about that.
Let that
Think about
breathe.
that. Yeah. So, but a lot of people are so goddamn stupid that they're cheering like, yeah, 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 yeah. But when he threatened World War III, remember everyone like we don't want soldier our troops there. But when he threatened World War III, he threatened to use our soldiers essentially. All right,
And they're
and
not
so
thinking about that, Jonathan. These parents is like, my baby is in the Marines. My baby's in the Air Force.
yeah, and guys, listen to me. They're talking about Russia wants a ceasefire. Russia wants a ceasefire because Russia has gotten their ass kicked. Okay, and people always complaining. We didn't send $380 billion over there. Okay, that's all the money I've sent. We sent like 170 or whatever billion, whatever. Okay, and EU and everyone else sent the rest. Okay, but that 160, 180 billion dollars that we sent over there, guys, the damage that we did to Russia. Okay, that's pennies. Okay, I mean that country what Ukraine did to Russia, it's pennies. So, when you hear all these people come in here, I swear to you, guys, I promise each and every one of you guys. This is I've never made a promise like this before, and because I don't make promises that I can't keep. But I swear on my freaking dead mother, and I promise you guys, by fucking November, if 70% of these fuckers that voted for him is going to fucking regret it. And I say that with conviction because it's real. Because I'm gonna tell you right here, he took down the fucking military, the heads of the military. Okay, the military is what apolitical. Okay, that's why when you see when you go to the State of the Union, okay, when you go to the State of the Union, when everyone's cheering like this, the military sits quiet. They don't cheer because they're apolitical. He took and got rid of all the apolitical people and put in his supporters. Okay, he took over the communications. Okay, he took over he got rid of the AGs. He got rid of all this shit, guys. Someone doesn't take over the communications. Okay, he got communication. He gets control. Matter of fact, he's got rid of AP and all the people that he didn't want. That's not putting his shit out there. He wants to put the people he wanted in the press pool versus having an independent press pool. Okay, he got rid of the inspector generals. Okay, he got rid of the inspector generals. Those are the people that say, "Hey, there's fraud going on here. Yo, there's something funny going on." Those are the people that sound the alarm when something's going on. But he's saying that there's a lot of fucking people that, oh, I'm getting rid of this because of fraud. It's a lot of fraud. There's a lot of waste and a lot of corruption. Well, that's what the IG does. The inspector generals. That's what they get rid of. They watch for that. So if you want to get rid of that, why are you getting rid of the people that actually does get rid of that shit?
Let
So
that
think
breathe.
about that.
Let that
So
breathe.
when all this shit is happening right now, okay, this shit. You think about what did he say? What did the general said that Trump was like? I wish I had generals like Hitler. Well, guess what he did? He put in his generals like Hitler. Think about that. Okay, that general before he was elected said that. It's recorded. So now think about this. Then you think about when he got rid of New York congestion pricing. Okay, supposedly he put a magazine cover out on the White House Twitter page with him with a fucking crown on his head saying "Long live the king." No other fucking president ever has called themselves a king. None.
And the Gaza
Okay.
thing too. The Gaza thing
Okay,
too.
well, yeah, exactly. Then you go look at the Gaza video. That Gaza video he has is Trump, Gaza, and all this other stuff. And then guess what he did? They have him walking around and kids surrounding him like he's a hero. And then they have that big ass gold statue of him. He put this video out on his socials. A big ass gold statue of him. And then inside the inside of the fucking antique store, all they had was gold statues of what? Smaller gold statues of him
Hey, John.
to be worshipped.
Hey,
To be
John,
John.
worshipped.
let him land.
So yeah, I'm gonna land this shit real fast. But what I'm saying to you guys is this right here. There's a lot of people here that think it doesn't include them because they don't look like the people that they think it's going to be affected, especially the women. I stay quiet for a minute because I need that to hit differently.
Let that breathe.
Okay, there's a lot of people. You know, I came in yesterday, Jerry, and I was telling that because I read everything. I was telling one about this woman that in Michigan that was a park ranger. She voted for Trump, because her mother said, oh, and her uncle, they all was Trumpers and all this other shit. And so Trump said he's gonna make IVF free, and all this other shit. And so she voted for him. And so the uncle's like any those fucking federal workers that they're fucking fraudsters, they're rip off artists, they're all criminals. If they're afraid to lose their job, they're fucking because they're criminals. So, in the middle of February, she got a fucking text message from her fucking union because she's a federal worker, park ranger in Michigan, saying, "Hey, since you're probationary, just want to give you a heads up. You may be in danger of losing your job because Trump what was Trump's proposing." And she got worried because she thought it wasn't going to affect her. And then 2 days later, she received the email, "You're fucking fired." Now she lost the benefits and everything else. But here's the part, Jerry. She was trying to fucking have a baby. And so they were having problems having babies. So she wanted to go to IVF, or what you call it. So she's like, okay, at least I can get the IVF for free. And he trying to he signed an executive order, and she thought it was gonna be free because that's what he promised, just reducing the price a little bit, and she can't even afford IVF treatments. So now she no longer has a fucking job, and she can't even fucking afford to have a baby because she can't have the fucking IVF. What you call it? Everything he promised her is gone, and there's a lot of his supporters finding that out because here's the deal, people: he no longer fucking needs you. He no longer have an election to run. Okay, he can't run again. Okay, even if he is doing what I think he's doing, which I would never say because people think I'm a conspiracy theorist, but even if he's planning on fucking staying in office after this term is over, he doesn't need your fucking vote. I land.
Hey, don't nobody say nothing. Don't nobody say nothing. We gotta let that breathe for a second. Thank you, Mr. Jonathan Bing. I know I'm dramatic, guys. There was somebody who wanted to jump in. Brother, the guy that was speaking,
Yeah, that was me. That was me, Jerry.
when you say that was me, I don't know who
P
me is.
man, P man.
Oh, go ahead, P
Hey,
man.
hey, I was stationed over in Korea a couple of times and spent a lot of time up at the DMZ. And that gold statue that he has of Trump has of himself, there's several of those over there in North Korea. There's whole cities over there on the border that there's nobody over there but soldiers, and there's gold statues of either him, his grandfather, or his father.
That okay. Hey, P man, no comment. No comment. Why this is what we're gonna do, guys. Today is February 28th, 2025. Jonathan made a prediction. I'm gonna have to say I kind of agree with Jonathan. But let's see where we are. I don't know. Let's see how people are feeling like about 12 months from now. And people, I'm gonna say this one thing. I'm gonna open up the room. It's y'all room after what I'm about to say. Makita, you got your hand up. Does that mean? Do you want to jump in, Makita?
Yeah, I have a question
Okay.
for Jonathan, but I'll wait for you to finish.
Okay. So just remember, I said this to you guys. The people who are interested in buying real estate, that you want to buy a home that you want to live in, I'm saying to you guys right now, y'all are going to be in for a rude awakening within the next 18 months. Makita, I pass the mic to you.
Jonathan, my question is with everything that you just said and understanding that there are people who took an oath, to protect the Constitution from enemies, both foreign and domestic, and especially with the last point that you made, how do you think that will play a part with the part that you didn't want to really say, even though you said it, you know, with everything that's being laid out? I just would like to hear your perspective because I think you gave a lot of really important points. And we do have to think about all the things. So I just wanted your feedback with that.
Yeah, let me just say this right here. Right now, when you look at what's happening and you look at the fact that he's going after the federal employees, the civil service workers, they fired the people in the nuclear science regarding our nuclear science division, and they were essential. They fired those. They sent out these letters and they fired people, and then they realized like, holy shit, we got no one running this shit, and they had to fucking go around and try to find these people and give them their jobs back. Okay, they did the same thing with some healthcare workers. Like, holy shit, we got to go find them and get these people. Guys, that lets you know that they're finding people indiscriminately. They're not looking at who is what. They're not doing evaluations. They're just cutting where they can cut. Listen to me. Everyone always said this: our country can survive anything, and that's true. Our country would be able to survive anything, right? But when you look at the fact that they're firing all of these civil servant workers and all these federal employees, it weakens our government. All those things that makes us able to survive, so to survive anything, we may no longer be able to survive anything because you got to realize that when you get rid of all these people, they take away decades. Some of them take away 20 years of knowledge and experience with them. All right. And so our government is now weakened and it's now ripe. And when you replace the military, when you replace the chairman of the Joint Chief of Staff, when you that let's say that woman, I'm gonna wake it up, man. I'm gonna wake
Wake
it
it
up.
up. Wake it up.
I'm gonna wake it up. White women, I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. Y'all fucked up. Okay, y'all fucked up and y'all fucked up big because what you guys were sold a bill of goods and you guys thought that this wasn't for you, that they didn't mean you. But when you look at the general that was fired, that woman that was fired, that was given, supposedly given 60 days to find a place to live, all of a sudden he came back and told her, hey, you got to get out. That was a white woman. Okay, and they called her a DEI hire. That the Secret Service woman that was in charge when he got killed, she was nowhere near. Okay, guess what? She was a white woman. She got fired. There was two people that got fired from the chairman, the Joint Chief of Staff. It was the black guy and what the white woman. And the woman that was flying that fucking helicopter was a white woman, and all of you guys was labeled as fucking DEIs, and you guys were fucking terminated. Okay, and guess what? The Joint Chief of Staffs is nothing but white men now. Okay, and every time something going wrong, they find a woman, and most likely because you guys benefited from fucking DEI more than anyone else, it's a fucking white woman. And guess what they do? They get rid of your fucking ass, and they say you were DEI hire, and they replace you with what? A white male. You guys fell for the okey doke. You guys fell for the okie doke. You guys went hook, line, and sinker with this bullshit. All right? You guys went hook, line, and sinker. It seemed like right now, DEI is the one thing that everyone's fucking afraid of. And guess what it does? The only person that's not a DEI is a fucking white male. The white male has become the only fucking protected class in this country.
Let that
Period.
breathe.
Because here's the deal. I am not, if I had to fucking hire, I had a black guy and a white guy, I don't want to be accused of DEI. I'm gonna fucking hire the white guy at this point in time because I don't want them to say that it's some DEI shit and I get sued because there's a white woman suing right now because she's gay and she's straight and a woman and she's saying, I got passed over because I'm straight and I'm white.
Let that breathe.
The DEI is more fair. I'm more afraid of a DEI lawsuit right now than a racial lawsuit. Those things right there every fucking day. We know what those mean. We don't know what the fuck a DEI. We're not with this fucking administration. Not with this judicial. So here's the deal. The only protected class, and I don't say this shit to be fucking like what's racist because I'm not. Shit, I love white women. I love all women.
Take
Shit,
careful,
right?
careful, Jonathan.
Shout out to
Careful.
Daft, right? And so what I'm saying to you is this right here. White women, you guys fucked up because it seems like the whole fucking country when we shout DEI bad, the only thing we're saying is protect white men because the only person that can really not be a fucking DEI is a white fucking male. And the most of the DEI firings, I'm sorry, have been white fucking women. And you guys still haven't woke up yet because it haven't hit you yet. I'm not saying white men are evil. I'm not saying it because I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is the whole country right now is protecting white men. So the fail safe that we have in place. I mean, he got rid of the he got rid of the fucking he got rid of just everything. The military. He replaced the military.
Civil Rights Division.
Yeah, he got rid of every fucking all the those IGs, all he got rid of all that shit. Okay,
Hey,
got rid of
Jonathan.
all that. Hold on, I'm about to land. Got rid of all that shit, guys. You don't fucking get rid of all these fucking things if you don't have a plan later, guys. He did all this shit in his first 30 fucking days. He did all this shit in his first 30 days. He did, why is he doing it all so fast? It's not good for our country. What's the race? Where's the time clock? Why does he have to cut all this shit right now? Why does he have to fire people without even knowing whether or not they are fucking essential? I don't know, folks. I land.
Janae Miller asked in the chat, "Who, Jonathan? This is for you. Who are they being replaced with?" I'm just curious.
No,
Was
guess what? They're not replacing. Guys, Project 2025. You remember the Project 2025? The shit that he wasn't running off of? Where they said fire all the federal employees, and he's like, nah, that's some crazy shit. Nah, those are wackos that they or whatever. I have nothing to do with
Jonathan Bing,
Hey, it's happening with me over here. Hey,
my
hey,
man, Mr. Bing?
Yeah,
hey,
yo, they all listen to me. If he lied to you about Project 2025, because everything is in Project 2025 that happened.
You warned us when they
So,
first. Jonathan was on the phone with me. He told me he was like, Jonathan, you don't remember? You don't remember when I was asking you to school me on that? Because you know
yeah,
me. I was like, what is that, Jonathan?
yeah,
Jonathan is a political guy. He's always schooling me. But go ahead,
yeah,
Jonathan.
Jerry, everything is happening, and I feel. I'm gonna be honest with you. This country, yeah, we're in trouble because this isn't good. Let me just say this right. Donald Trump, like all those executive orders, he's not writing that shit up. He's not doing that. Donald Trump wants, you know what Donald Trump wants? And it's
What?
sad. He wants power. He wants to remain in power. He did not like when he was out of power. Okay, he's the biggest megalomaniac I've ever met.
Grant don't
Okay,
agree
I've
with
ever
you.
known.
Grant don't agree with you.
Huh?
Grant Cardone doesn't agree with you. Neither
Yeah,
does
well,
Martin
yeah, he
Bessar.
wants to stay in power. He wants to stay in power. He wants to be in power for life because he felt that power. It was like nothing like it in the world. And so Elon and Stephen Miller, guys, Stephen Miller. Remember that name, Stephen Miller, Stephen Miller, Stephen Miller, folks. I'm gonna say it again, Stephen Miller, and it's Stephen with an E N. Stephen Miller. It's Phen. Remember Stephen Miller. I'm saying that name over and over again. All right, because that name is going to have a huge effect on your life. All right, because he's one of the main ones writing up these executive orders. All right, so go do your research, and he's the one that's writing up most of these executive orders. So this is not, guys. Listen to me. It's like I spoke with a federal employee. They have a gag order. If you guys notice this, right, there's 3 million federal employees. And you guys heard about all these federal employees getting fired, right? You guys heard about that, right?
Yes.
How many of them are out there doing interviews? Not
None.
many. Exactly. You know why?
we can't.
Because there's gag orders. There's gag orders. Okay. And so they can't even have, and they can't do interviews. And they're getting emails. They're at home and at 8 o'clock at night, they get emails. They come in and work. Guess what? They got, fork in the road email. They got this. I was speaking to a federal employee for 20 plus years. And he's like, yo, I'm getting my resume work. They're all no one's safe. No federal employee feels safe because they've done all of that. They got the probationary. They're doing all these different things, and then now they're going to go after the reduction of workforce. Is where they're going after next. No one is safe. No one is safe. They can't. Here, they were told, the federal employees, they were told to stop communicating with their state counterparts. They couldn't even communicate with their counterparts. They were now just given permission to start communicating with their state counterparts about different projects. But if they were told, if they were asked about anything, just don't apologize. Just move forward and talk about the project. They can't say anything else, or they will be terminated.
Jonathan, I do have a question. I do agree that we're in unprecedented times, right? And I think it really is just, I don't know, for lack of better words, to say just the catch 22, right? When we're looking just at the now sacrifices that are being made, I agree. It's very aggressive and there's a lot of uncertainty and it's just very unfortunate all around. But I guess the real question I have is we have to begin something, right? When we hear things as far as we don't have enough funding for some of our most critical needs for the American infrastructure, whether it's our health care, whether it is even Social Security and Medicare, and all of these things, we're talking about a 30-year trajectory. We have to, at least for me, I begin asking questions that it's kind of like a surgery to me. Like there's going to be a lot of pain, there's going to be a lot of hurt in the beginning, but we have to find a way forward. And maybe that's not the best analogy, but what I guess I'm really trying to say here is from my research with the federal employees and the firings, they said some of these positions were duplicated positions, right? So when we get down to the strategy of efficiency, I'm just considering what have they researched so far, and it's unfortunate if we've had situations where certain positions have been duplicated or triple, and this is a situation where they can have maybe one or two to make something efficient. And we also have to acknowledge that we're getting ready to enter the age of AI. So I really do believe like all of these transitions is moving into a new phase of America efficiency that we've never seen before. I think I've shared this on the stage a few days ago where I don't know what that looks like. None of us know what that looks like. But right now it looks very crazy. But I do remember Elon at one point saying that for the first 2 years, it was going to be tough. And he was actually embracing the supporters at the time to say, listen, guys, for the first 1 or 2 years, like any type of business cuts, we're not going to see the changes, right? It's going to be aggressive, it's going to be abrupt, but it's a necessary evil, for lack of better words, because if we don't start this now, 20, 30, 40 years down the line, we will not have a surplus. And so, last thing I would want to say, Clinton actually did something similar. Now, I haven't really went down into the rabbit hole of his strategy, but he did something similar, and we know that he was one of the few presidents who left America in a surplus after he left. So, this is just things that I would want to consider and just want to think: is this more fear? Is this more uncertainty? I completely understand it, but I just would like to watch and wait because the anxiety could be a lot right now because there's a lot of uncertainty.
Janae, you mentioned Clinton. And this is an honest question, it's not being sarcastic. Did he do something similar to what's being done now, though, or did he do something a little different? Because I'm with you, and I'm wondering, Janae, I'm wondering exactly what you said. How will I feel 2 years from now? Because I don't know, but go ahead, Janae.
So that's pending research on my end. I just kind of did a quick search a couple of days ago to see was there a situation where federal employees was laid off in mass, right? And what was the culture and how did people feel about it at that time? You know what I mean? So I don't know strategically, but I know it happened. Much like with Obama. Obama did mass deportations, but he had a way about it that was maybe more diplomatic, how people felt about it. But at the end of the day, it was a necessary thing that needed to happen. And even at the time, there were people who disagreed with it. So I guess I'm just trying to bring forth a little bit more information. We know, once again, Trump is not a politician, right? So I think a lot of the issues with Trump is just he does things very aggressive. He says things that doesn't really make people feel safe or comfortable. But I will say this. I had a client of mine, and she was one of the employees who received the emails, right? And as we were talking, I was like, how do you feel about this? And she was telling me that they had options. She was in between either leaving voluntarily or maybe staying and just taking the risk of being let go, right? And maybe if she could, maybe get unemployment, right? But the government with these emails, I think they give them maybe 6 to 7 months, maybe four, to at least make a decision so they're protected within a certain point of view, a certain window. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying I don't know all the intricacies, but it's kind of like it has to happen. Otherwise, What does our future look like?
You know, one thing I can say today is that we definitely can remember today. And when you do your research, do your research
I've done
and
the research, Jerry.
about what she said with Clinton.
Me
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Well,
Clinton did it over 8 years. Okay, and they went in and they did evaluations.
sorry, Janae.
Yeah, they did evaluations, and they did it over 8 years. They didn't try to do it in 30 days. They didn't try to do it in 60 days or 6 months.
I
All
agree.
right.
I think that's where I
Because-
left off on the research. When I talk about the numbers, I don't know the grand total, but we don't know when the administration's stop loss is, right? So I don't know how many people Trump has laid off right now. I think it was like maybe 2,000. I don't know. You guys can give me
That's
the raw
2,000,
number.
much more than that. Let me just say this. Let me just say this right, Janae. Also, I want you to keep in mind, these are federal employees. They're civil service employees. You just can't go terminating them like that without cause. So what's going to happen? He's not saving money. He doesn't care. He knows he's not saving money. He knows that this stuff would be litigated, and they would get their most likely wind up getting some of them get their jobs back. Some of them wind up getting paid and all this other stuff. All right. So really, he's not saving us anything when you look at all the litigations that's going to result from this. All right. So let's just be clear here. All right. All he's trying to do is get his people in there, weaken this up, and then when those people come back in, they're not. That his people still are able to control. Project 2025 said get fire the civil service workers and replace them with MAGA, which that's what they said. If anyone gonna go look for that section, I think MAGA loyalists or something like that is the exact terminology. So Janae, I'm gonna tell you this right here. I know you support Trump because I'm here with you every night. But you should never, ever, ever. I wouldn't want my son to have that kind of power. All right, because there needs to be balance. There needs to be balance. So and let's talk about Elon. Elon wasn't elected, and I know you're like, oh, so what? He's this or that. He wasn't elected. All right. Here's the thing: it should any and everything when something goes wrong, you know what's going to happen. I'll tell you what's going to happen. Elon is going to be there. Trump's going to be able to say Elon did it, and he's the boogeyman. Okay. But Elon he walks in, he gets all of that data. Hell, that he went to the Treasury Department and then the judge say, no, you can't do it. Delete all that information. You think Elon's gonna delete all that fucking information? He got that data already. All right. So, you know, this is something that Americans wouldn't stand for. So I just think that it's a very dangerous precedent. You know, Germany when Hitler took over. And I always hate making this comparison because you guys always say, oh, but it's a very fair comparison. When Hitler took over, all right, was a constitutional republic. We're a constitutional republic. And he was able to flip that shit in 30 days. Okay. Trump is racing to all give it all. Hey, I brought this up before. He did an executive order saying that the only people that can interpret law is him and the attorney general. Think about this right here. We have three branches of government, guys. For you guys that don't know civics, we have the executive branch, which is the president and his cabinets and those departments. We have the judicial branch, which is courts, all of the federal courts and the Supreme Court. And then we have the legislative branch, which comprises of the Senate and the House of Representatives. The federal court, I mean, the Congress, they make the laws. Okay, that's what the Congress job is. Legislate. That's what they call it. Hey, pass this legislate, this bill, legislative bill. They make the laws. All right. The court system interpret the laws. So his executive order pretty much took the court system, the federal court system, power away by saying only him and the DOJ have the right to interpret law when it comes to the executive branch. Okay. And the executive branch, their job is to enforce the laws. That's why they have DOJ and all that other stuff. So essentially, he has brought in and expanded the executive branch powers by saying that he's trying to, at least saying that he has the right, only him and the DOJ, the Attorney General, has the right to interpret law in that regard. Now, he also on that same day, Congress put some positions in place and and stuff in the offices and branches in place, agencies in place that are independent to oversee stuff. He did an executive order. Remember that's Congress saying that those agencies now fall under his purview. So he usurped power from the legislative branch and he usurped power from the judicial branch to bring it up under the executive branch. No other president would have ever thought of doing it. No other president have ever tried to do that. All right. In fact, the Supreme Court, Justice Roberts, stopped, said it was okay for him to freeze the funds for the foreign aid. That was never supposed to happen because the power of the purse belongs solely to who? The legislative branch. So he's taking power, he's taking authority away from everyone. And because the legislative branch right now is controlled by the Republicans in the House and the Senate, they're not doing anything. And everyone's afraid to do something. They're waiting. Now, some of the Republicans are starting to speak out because they have no choice. Like you listen to Hannity right now. They got to stream those calls better. Hannity, he's like, yo, it was like a love fest. I love these liberal tears and all this other stuff. And yeah, they're going to see, blah, blah, blah. And now Hannity's getting calls saying, what the fuck is he doing? This is not what I fucking voted for. And they're complaining. The callers are complaining. Hannity and the other show, another show, they you go listen to fucking liberal. I mean, conservative radio, folks. You guys will hear this shit. They're complaining. They're complaining their ass off. But anyway, and it is what it is. Oh, by the way, the red states, when you start talking about Medicaid and Medicare and SNAP, those Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, Kentucky, West Virginia, all that shit right there, all those little states, red states. I'm not gonna call them bullshit. I stopped myself. I stopped myself. But when you look at them, folks, that's where the money's going. That's where a lot of these benefits is going. I understand they put a face on it, and when you look at all these benefits, the people that receive these benefits, the face looks like me. But we're not the ones that's receiving the most benefits. It's the as Dave Chappelle would say, the poor whites in the red states that's getting all of this help that won't receive it anymore.
And Jonathan, I just want to say this. I support just the success of America. So any president that is in office, I try to keep a fair, balanced take. And so I just really want to understand, like, to Jerry's question about what made, Clinton different. And of course, again, my numbers are not accurate because I haven't done a deep dive. But it seems since Clinton left, our government spending has increased by 61.71% as of 2025, right? And within the Biden administration, 24.96% of that happened within 1 year. So if we just look at the trend between 2001 to 2025, that was 61.7%. And in 1 year, 24.9%, 96% of that 61.71%, there is a problem here, right? And so I'm just really just trying to open the conversation to really understand about our government efficiency and what is the amount of federal workforce do we need for efficiency, right? How do we tackle our deficit? We know that it's a multi-strategic approach, right? There's many things that is going on simultaneously, but as far as our government employees, understanding, like, what does that look like? Do we need a
You know,
19.7% workforce? All of these
Damn.
things,
Uh,
are leading to
Can
my
I
questions to
That's a great
understand.
question. That's
so
damn.
tap
yeah,
in?
I'm gonna.
So
Hey,
it's
I'm gonna.
easy.
Yeah,
Sorry, I
I
go
just
want to
ahead.
want
go.
to
Wait,
chime
say,
in a
hold
little
on.
bit.
I want to go to an economist real fast to answer your question. We have an economist here. Skol, are you here?
I'm here. So what's up?
That was a deep question.
Because right now we have 3 million federal employees, and we have 330 million people. So we have less than 1% of federal employees. But she asked a question about federal employees and efficiency. You want to help tackle that question, Skol? He's a real economist.
Yeah. So can you just restate the question one more time, but just
Okay,
briefly?
I would love to go. And again, this is just to understand. I'm not making a position. I'm just asking the questions to move it forward. So I was asking when Clinton did something similar, right? In 2001, during his presidency, he was our federal workforce has increased by 61.71% as of today of 2025, right? And within that 61.71%, in 1 year during the Biden administration in 2024, our workforce increased, meaning they hired more people, up by 24.96% in just 1 year, right? Now, if we take those statistics and we look at the trajectory from 2001 to 2025, it kind of leaves the question about why is this these firings so aggressive? If that kind of provides clarity, and I want to know if you can kind of give some insight as to what you think may be going on here due to this increase in hiring so many federal employees within a short window.
Yeah, so there's a few things to tackle here. First is, overall size of the federal government. And if you look at it in just absolute terms of budget, yeah, it's gotten really big. If you look at it compared to our gross domestic product, right? And you look at it, right now as a nation, we produce about over $20 trillion in goods. We are 5% of the world's population, yet we produce over 20% of the goods. Americans are hard workers. And I don't think I need to tell any of you that. So when you go back and you look at, say, where we were in the 70s to where we were now, it tells a very different story. Americans have become incredibly productive. We have started making a lot of things, and our government has expanded. But in relation to how much our economy has expanded, our government's kind of kept pace with that, right? So it's yes, it has gotten bigger, right, over the decades, but so has America. And then if you look at population, it's more than doubled. Yet we did not double the number of employees, the number of federal employees. So we're providing service to a lot more Americans numerically, if you look at it as a ratio, right? Like how many employees we had versus in the federal government versus how many citizens we had. So that's sort of the first thing, right? The second thing going on here is Clinton had the benefit of time. He could do those over 7 years. We're coming up to an inflection point here. By 2030, over half of our budget will be spent paying the interest on our debt. That's very bad, right? It's basically saying that half of our budget will be spent paying down a credit card. That is not good. So, there is a time sensitive component. At most, we have 5 years to get this done. We don't have the seven Clinton had. So, we do have to move a little faster. And this brings me to my last point of the danger of what we're doing right now. Yes, we do have to move faster, right? There is a clock on this thing. But at the same time, in economics, just like in physics, right? If something happens really fast, it hits really hard. If I threw a bullet at somebody, they wouldn't care. If I shot them with that bullet out of a gun, they're going to the hospital. So by spacing out the firings, right, and selling into economic strength, the private market was able to absorb those people over weeks, months, and even years under Clinton. If we just start going in there and slashing really hard, really fast, we can cause major problems. And there are certain communities, certain towns, certain cities that have large federal agencies or a large federal workforce presence, and federal employees are paid very well. So I'll just sort of leave that there and just basically say that they have a disproportionate effect on the economy. So cutting a lot of high paying jobs, let's say you're in a small town that has a federal government building, well, you just lost everyone who's going to go out to eat on a Friday night. Guess what? Your restaurant's going to close next. And
Janae,
that's how the effect dominoes. And I'll land.
I
Janae.
understand it, and I thank you. Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Say
Um,
what you're about to say.
I agree with the trickle down effect, right? I do, there are, I would assume and I would hope there's a potential of a new type of job that will be created, much like we see in the private sector. In the federal sector, cybersecurity is growing. So I don't know if this will be a re-emergence of something new. But to your point, I I really just wanted to kind of focus more so on if we understood the people who are letting go and paying more attention to what positions. Like, I know, for example, Rachelle is very blessed. Like, for example, she can't be touched, right? And there are those people who are critical organs to the functioning of our government, right? And I think when we have this conversation, we're focusing too broadly. But my main question is, what are the vital processes of our government for efficiency, right? And if the primary goal is to pull back on our deficit, which it looks like to your GDP point, maybe you can help me with this, but it says in 2023, we spent $6.134 trillion, which contributed to 22.8% of our GDP, right? And to your point of our revenue for America, we brought in 4.439 trillion, right?
Janae, I got a quick question for you.
Mm-hmm.
And this is like not aligned with what you're asking the way you're asking it, but because I'm listening to both of you, right? And obviously you're a Trump supporter, right? I mean, I don't know. I could be wrong, but have you ever thought that some of the things that Trump is doing just to benefit Trump's power, like and his ability to have control over certain agencies, and or you? I'm not trying to come at you, but have you
No,
ever
you're
thought?
okay. No, absolutely. I'm a very
Yeah,
I try to be unbiased. Yeah, I try to unbiased.
because for the life of me, I gotta make this clear. I did not vote for Kamala Harris, and I gotta make this clear. I'm not a Democrat. But it's something about Trump to me. He doesn't fit in any party. That's just my opinion. I don't look at Trump as a Republican. I look at him as like it's just something new that he created. But have you ever thought that? Because I know you're asking the economists, but I don't think this is. I think this is different. I think you got what you're saying, Janae. Then you got Trump. You understand what I mean? I think you got efficiency. Let's do this and do that. But remember him before, and remember this is who he is. I mean, have you ever thought that some of this stuff is to make him be able to have total control over certain things, or you really think he's just? And this is not a diss. Don't take it wrong, but you think he's just really? I'm Donald Trump. I'm here for the American people. I want to just do efficiency. Do you really think that's what it is with Trump?
To be honest with you, Jerry, I just want to kind of go and put the disclaimer there. You don't have to apologize for anything that you're asking.
Because I
I
don't want to get
do.
attacked by you. You women, I don't want you
No,
to be
no,
like,
no. If, as long as it's fair and respectful, I don't mind that. I think that's a great question. No, I don't
thank
think,
you.
Jonathan. I don't think Trump is beyond reproach, right? Um, Is there a case where there are certain necessary personalities that are needed for a time frame? That's kind of how I vote. Now he has 4 years, right? So whatever he's trying to build outside of efficiency, it's kind of like two things can be true at the same time, right? He can more than likely have a sinister underlying intent that none of us can know but God himself, right? But I can only focus on the evidence of successes and failures based on the decisions made, right?
Okay,
So I
let's build on that for a second. Can we build? Can we build? What successes? Okay, what evidence and successes would you put forward that would? And I'm assuming that you. I could be wrong because you could be asking questions just for answers and clarity. I could be reading it wrong. But do you? Yeah, do you have any evidence of successes with Donald Trump when he was president last time or even to this present time?
Um, to be honest with you, when he was first in, I tried to drown out because there was a whole lot going on. And I was trying to focus on my own personal life at the time.
That part.
But I'm sure if we do a deep dive, you can see some things that he succeeded. I can just go with HBCUs. I know he contributed a lot of funding to that. Now, what was his intent? I'm not here to debate that because I don't know the man's heart and what he does, but I know it was done, right?
Okay.
So that's one thing that I could say, hey, if I had to evaluate him unbiasedly, I could say, okay, there's some things that he did that helped people, right? Right now, for his second term is way too soon. So what I'm saying is the data is to be determined at the end of year 4. Now, I will say I do not understand some of the moves he made during COVID when it came to, I think it was releasing was it a task force? You know, my mom is in the medical industry. I'm making a career pivot to go back into the medical field. And I
Okay.
do believe like the funding that he cut there was absolutely horrible, right? So I just try, at least for myself, try to keep things fair. And also when it comes to just assessing any president, I do the same thing with Biden and anybody else that I've had the privilege of voting for. But ultimately, I'm voting for Americans first. I'm voting for our future. And I will land with this. I don't agree with everything Trump says or does. Personality wise, I may not hang out with the man, right? But there are certain personalities during certain time periods. And I think when it comes to this war, you know, as far as Ukraine and all of the craziness that is going on, sometimes you just have to meet crazy with crazy. Now, I'm not talking about what he did with
I agree.
Zelensky,
I
right?
agree.
But when it comes to Putin, when it comes to some of these world leaders who are very, you know, we probably couldn't even imagine what they would be like here in America. You maybe need a Trump to actually get those agreements made when it comes to international and foreign affairs.
And you
Hey,
know what?
Jerry,
Who's that speaking?
Luis.
Luis, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna say,
Yeah,
hey, Janae, I'm gonna tell you how I feel, okay? But first, I gotta respect the speaker that wants to speak, Mr. Luis Estrella.
I appreciate you, bro. I
Hey,
promise.
Luis, I
Yeah,
appreciate you more. You know why?
thank you, bro.
Cause you in debate the news and you're speaking. I appreciate anybody that speaks. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, so you know what? I'll start in reverse.
Man, get
When
out
you
of bed.
talk,
Sit up in your bed, bro. Get out of bed.
Jesus Christ,
Hey,
nah,
Janae, will you
bro,
tell him boy to sit his ass? Go
nah,
ahead.
bro. I just, I can't be screaming late at night. The whole house will wake up.
Okay.
Um, so I'm gonna start from where Janae picked off, left the ball. Right. Donald Trump promised $255 million to HBCUs. Um, while and that was annually during his tenure there. And Biden contributed more than 4 billion. Okay, so let's just. I mean, I appreciate any amount of money going towards HBCUs because I think that's important. But if we're talking about national debt, let's take this into consideration. From the conception of this country in 1776 to 2001, as a country, in 225 years, we accumulated $5.8 trillion dollars in debt. During Donald Trump's tenure as president, for his first 4 years, he accrued more than $7.8 trillion dollars in debt, which means the fiscally responsible, let's cut the budget because I'm trying to do things the right way. He accumulated more debt in 4 years than this country did in its first 225 years in existence. I'm going to let that breathe for just a second. We need to account for the bait and switch here because while we allocated $6 trillion to the budget, as a country, we only spend 61% of that budget on an annual basis of whatever we allocate, right? This is important to know. And government employees, right? 3 million of them, I understand. We only contribute, I think it was 2 to 3% of the total annual budget to government employee salaries. Okay. So when we look at the actual math of that, what that equates to, it's about 180 billion dollars to our government employees. I think it's actually it's about 180 to 250 billion dollars if we're being, kind of 2.5% ish as far as the total budget of last year's budget. While that seems like a lot, it's a drop in the bucket to what we actually spend on an annual basis, right? And if you really want to save this country money, we should go after government spending, right? Defense spending, because that actually contributes to 10 to 15% of the annual budget every single year, which equates to more than $900 billion spent by this country just last year, right? So I think if we're going to be honest brokers, right? Instead of canceling programs like USAID and things like that, our country only allocates about 1% or less to actually helping globally. If we want to really cut the fat, it needs to be from our defense spending. And you know who doesn't want that to happen? People like Elon Musk, who's been allocated more than 400 million, and I think it was 700 million for one company and about 400 million for Tesla and otherwise. I think it's important that we don't get tricked out of what's actually going on in this country. And I'm
Let
a
that
land.
let that breathe for a second. Luis, can you hear me, my brother?
1,000%.
Hey, I appreciate you. Janae, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
You know, I'm gonna tell you what I'm guilty of. I'm gonna be totally honest with you. Be totally honest. Y'all could judge me however you want to. I I look at the person. I believe I have this gift where I can, just listen to somebody. I can look at him. I can read him. So I look at Trump a lot different than most people do. I don't believe that he's okay. I'll just say it raw. I don't think he gives a shit about the American people. I think he just cares about himself and his people. Um, it's interesting to me some of the things that he's done, and people don't. They just give him a pass for those certain things. It's like selective goodness about him. Selective. He screwed up with this. Yeah, it was wrong what he did with the Proud Boys. It was wrong what he did with January 6th. It was wrong about this, wrong about that. But he's looking out for us over this. He got all these felonies. It was wrong. It's like for some reason this man came out of nowhere and the whole world is just against him. He got these felonies. They're all fake. So I'm gonna be honest. I look at him a little differently than. So when I look at what he does, I think it's strictly for the benefit of him. When I was, back in debate the news early on, a lot of you guys weren't there, but when he was in his first little run and we was doing like COVID stuff, we were all paying attention to how much money he was spending and how he was having so much money coming to his hotel. It just so many things was just in his benefit. So me, I look at him a lot different because I look at the character and I look at the man and what he stands for. So if I look at him like that, it's hard for me to look at him in a good light with other things. That's just me though. That's just me. But can I say one more thing to you, Janae, if that's okay?
Sure, go ahead.
I want to thank you for coming out to debate the news, everybody. So I want y'all to do me a quick favor. And Janae, if you can do it, and if you can tell a friend, and Luis, if you can do it, and if everybody else in the room can also do it, I want y'all to take a look at that link up top. Debate the News podcast. We are in every podcast that's out there that exists. Apple, Spotify, you just pick it. We're on that podcast. So if everybody in this room will, hold up, let me get dramatic. If everybody that's in this room, everybody can hear my voice, if you will go to Debate the News podcast on your favorite podcast, if you can go there and do us a favor, if y'all are rocking with the show, if y'all are rocking with us, Jonathan Bing, go there and leave a review. Tell us y'all favorite part of the show. Actually take a moment to type it up because it actually benefits the show. And also share it with some of your friends, guys. So on all the people on the other platform that's listening right now, I'm gonna ask y'all to do the same thing. And if I haven't said it enough tonight, we appreciate each and every one of you guys. Shout out to everybody who jumped in the conversation. Shout out to everybody who jumped in the chat. Shout out to all the people, the tens of thousands, the hundreds of thousands, soon to be millions, gonna be all around the world. Listening to Jonathan Bing and Jerry Malcolm and family on Debate the News. You laughing at me? He's supposed to say yeah. So once again, everybody, I want to welcome you to Debate the News. We do this, it looks like we do it 7 days a week. Once again, guys, click the link up top. Debate the News is a podcast. Once again, I'm going to ask you guys to download a couple episodes, download 5, tell a friend, tell a family member, let them know that we are live 7 days a week, and everybody's joined in. Shout out to all you guys. I was about to name some names, but I was going to leave a couple people out by accident, and they might have got offended. Special shout out to Jonathan Bing for holding it down. Appreciate you guys. So everybody, see you guys next time. That's it. Debate the News. Don't go nowhere, guys.